Hello and welcome to another update on the McMinnville real estate market. This is Steve Thoele. I'm a principal broker with Premier Property Group, and this update is going to cover the last 8 weeks of market activity ending this past Sunday, December 3rd. So let me switch over here, share my screen with you, and we can walk through the data with you together here. So first off, we'll look at active listing activity. So this last week, I showed we had 7 new properties come on the market, which you can kind of see is kind of a high for quite a while, past 6 or 7 weeks now. And then the total number of listings you can see has been pretty steady. We had a low of 62, a high of 69. We kind of come right in the middle of that at 65 here this last week. So pretty steady on the supply side. And then as far as the median price days on market for those active listings, you can kind of see that the both price as well as the days on market has come up. We had a low of 507 to begin with and reached a high of 553 a couple weeks back. And this last week came in just a little under that at just shy of 550. And then the days on market, you can kind of see that's been trending up. Had a low of 36 days about 7 weeks back, and that's got up to a high of 55 is the kind of the average days on market for the most recent 65 homes on the market. So things are definitely kind of sitting a little longer than they were here a few months back, which is not surprising given kind of the time of year we're in and the kind of the overall slowness of the market. Okay, so pending sales. That's this last week we had a big goose egg. No pending sales this last week, and you can kind of see that's obviously a low for the past 8 weeks. Things have been kind of trending down there in terms of weekly pendings over the past few weeks now, and you can kind of see we were bumping along right around low 50s in terms of total pendings on the market, and then we've kind of seen a slide for the past 3 weeks based on slower activity. Currently have 31 homes in pending status right now. The median price and days on market for those pendings, that's coming down. Price has been coming down. We had a high of 471 7 weeks back, and we got under 450 this last week, 445. And then days on market, that's been bouncing around a little bit. You can kind of see we started at 20, got down to a low of 13. Next week later bounced up to 26, and then this last week we kind of hit 21. So right now we're got about 3 weeks of average market time for the most recent 31 homes that have gotten in pending status right now. And then the last thing we'll look at is sold listing activity. So as of the time I put this together, I showed we had 5 properties crossover from pending to sold last week in McMinnville. That's down from the prior couple weeks. You can kind of see where we had a kind of a high of 13 here 3 weeks back. And if I look over the prior 4 weeks of closings on a week-by-week basis, that's the red bars. You can kind of see we started at 32 8 weeks back, and it got down to a low of 17. And then we kind of been building back up from there. A lot of that's to do with, we had a kind of a little, little mini surge here of closings, and that's brought the numbers back up. This last week kind of hitting back up to 32. So started at 32, ended at 32 homes over the prior 4 weeks. And then the price and days on market for those solds, you can kind of see we hit a high of 508 7 weeks back. It's been coming down from there. Hit a low of 450 2 weeks ago, and then it bounced up this last week to 468 is the median price of these most recent 32 sales. And then the days on market, that's been coming up. We had a low of 16 days 8 weeks back, got up to a high of 41. And last couple of weeks been closer to just a little bit over a month of average market time for all the most recent sales. And then the last thing we'll look at is the weeks of inventory and the sale price as a percent of the original list price. So red bars is the weeks of inventory. You can kind of see we started at just a little under 8 weeks of inventory. That got up to a high of a little over 15 weeks of inventory 5 weeks back, and then it's come down a lot since then, kind of getting back to the starting point. So we're back to about 8 weeks of inventory. So just a little right around 2 months worth of inventory in McMinnville. And then the sale price as a percent of the list price, you can kind of see that's been pretty steady for the most part. We kind of had a high of just around 98% of original list price, and then went down a little bit from there, and then this last week dipped down to about 96.5%, so about a 3.5% discount So, prices for the most recent sales are a little weaker than they were earlier in the period here. So, overall, McMinnville kind of remains a pretty stable market, with the declining number of pendings that we saw up above and a pretty stable level of supply. I would expect we'll start to see these numbers kind of creep back up in terms of the months of inventory, or excuse me, the weeks of inventory, just based upon those trends. And we'll see what happens with prices here, but we're in that time of year where it's obviously slower seasonally. Interest rates, highlight on there is that we have continued to see a very strong rally in the bond market, which is the driver for interest rates, and that's continued to bring down mortgage rates. This last week, end of last week, we got very close to kind of somewhere between 7 and an 8, 7 and a quarter on the 30-year fixed rate mortgage with no points. So that's obviously a huge improvement from where we were, a little over a month ago, where we were topping 8% for a 30-year fixed rate loan. So hopefully that downward trend will continue, and that would help everybody out for sure. So that's the update for this week. Hope it was helpful. As always, if I can answer any questions or be of any help, please don't hesitate to reach out. My contact information are down below this video in the description. So let me know if I can answer questions or be of any help to you. As always, really appreciate any likes, comments, and shares that you have on these videos. Really helps to give me some feedback and to spread the word. So please do that, as well as if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, click that subscribe button before you leave. You won't regret it. It's a great way for you to stay up to date on what's happening in your local market. So thanks for watching as always. Hope you have a great day and week ahead, and we will see you on the next update.